Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is a 2000 Taiwanese-Chinese-Hong Kong-American martial arts film, a Chinese co-production. The film was directed by Ang Lee and featured an international cast of Chinese actors, including Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh, Zhang and Chang. The film was based on the fourth novel of the same name in the wuxia book series Crane Iron Pentalogy, by Chinese novelist Wang Dulu. The martial arts and fighting action sequences were choreographed by Yuen Wo Ping, who later directed the English-language sequel Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny, released in 2016. Made on a $17 million budget, with dialogue in Mandarin, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon became a surprise international success, grossing $213.5 million. It grossed $128 million in the United States, becoming the highest-grossing foreign-language film in American history. It has won over 40 awards. The film won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film in 3 other Academy Awards, and was nominated for 6 other Academy Awards, including Best Picture. The film also won 4 BAFTAs and 2 Golden Globe Awards, one for Best Foreign Film. Along with its award success, Crouching Tiger continues to be hailed as one of the greatest and most influential foreign-language films in the United States, especially coming out of Taiwan. It has been praised for its martial arts sequences, story, direction, musical score, and cinematography. Plot: the film is set in the Qing dynasty during the 43rd year of the reign of the Qianlong Emperor. Li Mubai is an accomplished Wudang swordsman. Long ago, his master was murdered by Jade Fox, a woman who sought to learn Wudang skills. Mubai is also a good friend of Yu Shulian, a female warrior. Mubai and Shulian have developed feelings for each other, but they have never acknowledged or acted on them due to Yu's deceased husband Meng Sijao. Mubai, intending to give up his warrior life, asks Shulian to transport his sword, also referred to as the Green Destiny, to the city of Beijing, as a gift for the Friendcity. At Ziyi's estate, Shulian meets Zhang, the daughter of Governor Yu, a visiting Manchu aristocrat. Zhang, destined for an arranged marriage and yearning for adventure, seems envious of Shulian's warrior lifestyle. One evening, a masked thief sneaks into Ziyi's estate and steals the sword. Mubai and Shulian trace the theft to Governor Yu's compound and learn that Jade Fox has been posing as Zhang's governess for many years. Mubai makes the acquaintance of Inspector Sai, a police investigator from the provinces, and his daughter Mei, who have come to Peking in pursuit of Fox. Fox challenges the pair and Ziyi's servant Master Bo to a showdown that night. Following a protracted battle, the group is on the verge of defeat when Mubai arrives and outmaneuvers Fox. Before Mubai can kill Fox, the masked thief reappears and partners with Fox to fight. Fox resumes the fight and kills Sai before fleeing with the thief. After seeing Zhang fight Mubai, Fox realizes Zhang had been secretly studying the Wudang manual and has surpassed her in combative skills. At night, a desert bandit named Lo breaks into Zhang's bedroom and asks her to live with him. A flashback reveals that in the past, when Governor Yu and his family were traveling in the western deserts, Lo and his bandits had raided Zhang's caravan and Lo had stolen her comb. She chased after him, following him to his desert cave seemingly in a quest to get her comb back. However, the pair soon fell passionately in love. Lo eventually convinced Chen to return to her family, though not before telling her a legend of a man who jumped off a cliff to make his wishes come true. Because the man's heart was pure, he did not die. Lo came to Peking to persuade Zhang not to go through with her arranged marriage. However, Zhang refuses to leave with him. Later, Lo interrupts Zhen's wedding procession, begging her to come away with him. Nearby, Shu Lian and Mu Bai convince Lo to wait for Zhen at Mount Wudang, where he will be safe from Zhen's family, who are furious with him. Zhen runs away from her husband on the wedding night before the marriage could be consummated. Disguised in male clothing, she is accosted at an inn by a large group of warriors, armed with the Green Destiny and her own superior combat skills. She emerges victorious. Chen visits Shu Lian, who tells her that Lo is waiting for her at Mount Wudang. After an angry dispute, the two women engage in a duel. Shu Lian is the superior fighter, but Zhen wields the Green Destiny. The sword destroys each weapon that Shu Lian wields, until Shu Lian finally manages to defeat Zhen with a broken sword. When Shu Lian shows mercy and lowers the sword, Zhen injures Shu Lian's arm. Mu Bai arrives and pursues Zhen into a bamboo forest. Following a duel where Mu Bai regains possession of the Green Destiny, he decides to throw the sword over a waterfall. In pursuit, Zhen dives into an adjoining river to retrieve the sword and is then rescued by Fox. Fox puts Zhen into a drugged sleep and places her in a cavern. Mu Bai and Shu Lian discover her there. Fox suddenly reappears and attacks the others with poison darts. Mu Bai blocks the needles with his sword and avenges his master's death by mortally wounding Fox, only to realize that one of the darts hit him in the neck. Fox dies, confessing that her goal had been to kill Zhen because she was furious that Zhen had hid the secrets of Wudang's far superior fighting techniques from her. As Zhen exits to gather up an antidote for the poison dart, Mu Bai prepares to die. With his last breaths, he finally confesses his romantic affections for Shu Lian. He dies in her arms as Zhen returns, too late to save him. The Green Destiny is returned to Satay. Zhen later goes to Mount Wudang and spends one last night with Lo. The next morning, Lo finds Zhen standing on a balcony overlooking the edge of the mountain. In an echo of the legend that they spoke about in the desert, she asks him to make a wish. He complies and wishes for them to be together again. Back in the desert, Zhen then suddenly leaps over the side of the mountain. Cast, themes and interpretations. Title: The name Crouching Tiger Hidden Dragon is a literal translation of the Chinese idiom, which describes a place or situation that is full of unnoticeable masters. It is from a poem of the ancient Chinese poet Yu Xin's that reads, which means, behind the rock in the dark probably hides a tiger, and the coiling giant root resembles a crouching dragon. The last character in Xioohu and Zhaolong's names mean tiger and dragon, respectively. Teacher-student relationship. A teacher's desire to have a worthy student, the obligations between a student and a master, and tensions in these relationships are central to the characters' motives, conflicts between the characters, and the unfolding of the film's plot. Li Mu Bai is burdened with the responsibility for avenging his master's death, and turns his back on retirement to live up to this obligation. His fascination with the prospect of having Zhen as a disciple also motivates his behavior and that of Jade Fox. Regarding conflicts in the student-teacher relationship, the potential for exploitation created by the subordinate position of the student and the tensions that exist when a student surpasses or resists a teacher are explored. Zhen hides her mastery of martial arts from her teacher, Jade Fox, which leads both to the parting of ways and to Jade Fox's attempt on Zhen's life. At the same time, Jade Fox's own unorthodox relationship with a Wudang master brought her to a life of crime. At times, Li Mubai and Zhen's conversations more than hint that the desire for a teacher-student relationship could turn into a romantic relationship. Zhen responds to these feelings, and her desire to not submit to a teacher, by turning away from Li Mubai when she jumps in the lake after the Green Destiny. Poison is also a significant theme in the film. In the world of martial arts, poison is considered the active one who is too cowardly and dishonorable to fight, and indeed, the only character that explicitly fits these characteristics is Jade Fox. The poison is a weapon of her bitterness and quest for vengeance. She poisons the master of Wudang, attempts to poison Zhen, and succeeds in killing Mu by using a poisoned needle. However, the poison is not only of the physical sort. Jade Fox's tutelage of Zhen has left Zhen spiritually poisoned, which can be seen in the lying, stealing and betrayal Zhen commits. Even though she is the one who initially trained Zhen, Zhen is never seen to use poison herself. This indicates that there is hope yet to reform her and integrate her into society. In further play on this theme by the director, Jade Fox, as she dies, refers to the poison from a young child, the deceit of an 8-year-old girl, obviously referring to what she considers her own spiritual poisoning by her young apprentice Zhen. Li Mubai himself warns that without guidance, Chen could become a poison dragon. Production. The film was originally written as a novel series by Wang Dulu starting in the late 1930s. The film is adapted from the storyline of the fourth book in the series, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Filming. Although its Academy Award was presented to Taiwan, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was in fact an international co-production between companies in 4 regions. The Chinese company China Film Co-Production Corporation, the American companies Columbia Pictures Film Production Asia, Sony Pictures Classics and Good Machine, the Hong Kong company EDKO Film, and the Taiwanese Zoom Hunt International Productions Company, Limited, as well as the unspecified United China Vision and Asia Union Film in-Amp Entertainment Limited, created solely for this film. The film was made in Beijing, with location shooting in the Anhui, Hebei, Jiangsu and Xinjiang provinces of China. The first phase of shooting was in the Gobi Desert where it would consistently rain. Director Ang Lee noted that, "I didn't take one break in 8 months, not even for half a day. I was miserable, I just didn't have the extra energy to be happy. Near the end, I could hardly breathe. I thought I was about to have a stroke." The stunt work was mostly performed by the actors themselves, and Ang Lee stated in an interview that computers were used only to remove the safety wires that held the actors. "Most of the time you can see their faces," he added, "that's really them in the trees." Another compounding issue was the difference between accents of the 4 lead actors. Chow Yun-fat is from Hong Kong and speaks Cantonese natively, and Michelle Yeoh is from Malaysia and speaks English. Only Zhang Ziyi spoke with a native Mandarin accent that Ang Lee wanted. Chow Yun-fat said that, "On the first day I had to do 28 takes just because of the language. That's never happened before in my life, because the film specifically targeted Western audiences rather than the domestic audiences who were already used to wuxia films. English subtitles were needed." Ang Lee, who was educated in the West, personally edited the subtitles to ensure they were satisfactory for Western audiences. Soundtrack. The score was composed by Tan-Dun, originally performed by Shanghai Symphony Orchestra, Shanghai National Orchestra, and Shanghai Percussion Ensemble. It also features many solo passages for cello played by Yeoh Ma. The last track features Coco Lee, who later performed it at the Academy Awards. The music for the entire film was produced in 2 weeks. Marketing. The film was adapted into a video game, a comics series, and a 34-episode Taiwanese television series based on the original novel. The latter was released in 2004 as New Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon for US and Canadian release. Reception. Critical response. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was very well received in the Western world, receiving numerous awards. The review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes reported that 97% of critics gave the film positive reviews based on 150 reviews. The site's consensus states, the movie that catapulted Ang Lee into the ranks of upper-echelon Hollywood filmmakers, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon features a deft mix of amazing martial arts battles, beautiful scenery, and tasteful drama. Metacritic reported the film had an average score of 93 out of 100 based on 31 reviews. Some Chinese-speaking viewers were bothered by the accents of the leading actors. Neither Chow nor Yeoh speaks Mandarin as a mother tongue. All four main actors spoke with different accents. Chow speaks with a Cantonese accent, Yeoh with a Malaysian accent, Chang a Taiwanese accent, and Zhang a Beijing accent. Yeoh responded to this complaint in a December 28, 2000 interview with Cinescape. She argued that my character lived outside of Beijing, and so I didn't have to do the Beijing accent. Quote, when the interviewer, Craig Reed, remarked that my mother-in-law has this strange Sichuan Mandarin accent that's hard for me to understand, Yeoh responded, yes, provinces all have their very own strong accents. When we first started the movie, Chang Pei was going to have her accent, and Chang Zhen was going to have his accent, and this person would have that accent. And in the end nobody could understand what they were saying. Forget about us, even the crew from Beijing thought this was all weird. The film led to a boost in popularity of Chinese wuxia films in the Western world, where they were previously little known, and led to films such as House of Flying Daggers and Hero marketed towards Western audiences. The film also provided the breakthrough role for Zhang's career, who noted that, because of movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Hero and Memoirs of a Geisha, a lot of people in the United States have become interested not only in me but in Chinese and Asian actors in general. Because of these movies, maybe there will be more opportunities for Asian actors. The character of Lo, or Dark Cloud, the Desert Bandit, influenced the development of the protagonist of the Prince of Persia series of video games. The film is ranked at No. 497 on Empire Magazine's 2008 list of the 500 greatest movies of all time, and at No. 66 in the magazine's 100 Best Films of World Cinema, published in 2010. Counterflow. Wu and Amp Chan look at Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon as somewhat of an example of counterflow, a film that has challenged Hollywood's grip on the film market. They argue that as a product of globalization, the movie did not demonstrate a one-way flow based on Western ideology, but was multi-directional, with the ability for local resources to influence the West and gain economic capital. Despite its international success, however, and perceived ability to change the flow from east to west, there were still instances of Western adaptation for the movie, such as putting more emphasis on female characters in order to greater execute a balance between gender roles in the East and West. The script of the film was written between Taiwan and Hollywood, and in translating the film to English, many cultural references were lost, which proved difficult in maintaining the cultural authenticity of the film while still reaching out to the West. The thematic conflict throughout the movie between societal roles and personal desires attribute to the international reception of the film, which resonates with both the Eastern and Western audiences. Additionally, international and Western networks were used in the production and promotion of the film, which were needed to conceive its global distribution. Additional marketing strategies were needed for the film in order to attract the Western audience who were unfamiliar with the cultural products of the East. Box office. The film premiered in cinemas on December 8, 2000 in limited release within the U.S. During its opening weekend, the film opened in 15th place, grossing $663,205 in business, showing at 16 locations. On January 12, 2001, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon premiered in cinemas in wide release throughout the U.S., grossing $18,647,295 in business, ranking in 6th place. The film Save the Last Dance came in first place during that weekend, grossing $23,444,930. The film's revenue dropped by almost 30% in its second week of release, earning $6,080,357. For the particular weekend, the film fell to 8th place, screening in 837 theaters. Save the Last Dance remained unchanged in first place, grossing $15,366,047 in box office revenue. During its final week in release, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon opened in a distant 50th place with $37,233 in revenue. The film went on to top out domestically at $128,078,872 in total ticket sales through a 31-week theatrical run. Internationally, the film took in an additional $85,446,864 in box office business for a combined worldwide total of $213,525,736. For 2000 as a whole, the film would cumulatively rank at a worldwide box office performance position of 19. Accolades. Gathering widespread critical acclaim at the Toronto and New York film festivals, the film also became a favorite when Academy Awards nominations were announced in 2001. The film was however screened out of competition at the 2000 Cannes Film Festival. Sequel. A sequel to the film, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny, was released in 2016. It was directed by Yuen Wo Ping, who was the action choreographer for the first film. It is a co-production between Pegasus Media, China Film Group Corporation, and the Weinstein Company. Unlike the original film, the sequel was filmed in English for international release and dubbed to Mandarin for Chinese releases. Sword of Destiny is based on the book Iron Knight, Silver Vase, the next novel in the Crane Iron Pentalogy. It features a mostly new cast, headed by Donnie Yen. Michelle Yeoh reprised her role from the original. Zhang was also approached to appear in Sword of Destiny but refused, stating that she would only appear in a sequel if Ang Lee were directing it. In the United States, the sequel was for the most part not shown in theaters, instead being distributed via the video streaming service Netflix.